Hello, my name's Tim Shelbourne, and in this short video tutorial we're going to take a look at how we can take one of our original raw leaf images and process it through Adobe Camera Raw and generally clean the image up, isolate the leaf and apply it onto a solid black background. Now, as I said, we want to start with the raw file, so you need to locate your original raw file and open it via the file menu in Photoshop Elements, and it will open in directly in Adobe Camera Raw. Now, as per instructions, these images were actually shot on a light box with a touch of fill-in flash. As a result of this, they needed to be mildly underexposed, and we'll use Adobe Camera Raw to actually correct this. Now, the first thing I want to do is correct the white balance, and that's easily done simply by choosing the white balance tool. And because I know the background for this should be white, I'll simply take the tool and click in the background, and you'll see that Camera Raw's automatically sorted out the colour temperature for me, which is great. Then I want to choose the exposure slider, and I'm going to grab this exposure slider and literally slide it to the right, keeping my eye on the histogram in the histogram preview up here, and I want to slide it to the right until we just start to clip the highlights there. This is indicated by this tiny little upward pointing arrow, so I want to adjust that to the point just before it actually starts to clip. I can actually pull that back just a little bit. So that's just about all I need to do in Camera Raw at this stage, just to process the raw file. So I'll simply go ahead and choose Open Image to open the image directly in Photoshop Elements. I'm going to change the mode of the image to an 8-bit file so we can work on it efficiently within Photoshop Elements. I'm going to right click the background layer and choose Duplicate Layer. Now obviously here I want the actual leaf to be straight and vertical, so I'm going to choose the Move tool. I'm going to position my cursor just outside one of the corner handles, and I'm simply going to drag with the mouse to rotate the leaf until I'm happy with its position. When we've got it in the right position, we'll simply hit the commit tick to commit the transformation. I also want to crop this image, so I'll choose the crop tool. I'll just drag a rough crop around here and I'll size it accordingly. Quite a bit of space around this particular leaf. So I'll just pull that in a little and again hit the commit tick. Okay, so we are going to be working on this leaf quite a little bit and enhancing the colours. We're going to do a little repair here and there, and I also want to sharpen it up and do a couple of other things. But first, one of the most important things I want to deal with is actually getting rid of this black background. And to do that, getting rid of the white background, I want this leaf to actually be placed on a solid black background. So I'm going to start by returning to the original background layer. I'll go to Edit and Fill Layer. We'll choose black for contents and click OK to that, and you can now see that underneath that leaf the original background layer is filled with a nice solid black. So we need to make a really nice accurate selection of the leaf now, and because it's on such a nice plain background, we can do that with the Magic Wand tool. I'm going to make sure that anti-alias is checked and also that contiguous is checked in the tool options up there. I'll set the tolerance to around about 10. Let's choose the Add to Selection button. Click on the background copy layer, and I'm simply going to click once in an area of white so we can make a nice accurate selection around that leaf. Okay, so that selection looks nice and accurate. Of course I do need to invert the selection, and we'll do that by a select and inverse. So we've actually got the leaf selected and not the area around it. Now we could just clear this this area of white, but I'm actually going to cheat layer masking elements because that gives us the opportunity to clean any remaining parts of white up. To do that, I'm just going to choose the adjustment layer button there. I'm going to choose a levels adjustment layer. The important thing is that you don't make any alterations to the levels dialog at all. You'll see that the selection has been added to the layer mask, and that's what we want to take advantage of. So simply click OK to the levels dialog without making any adjustments whatsoever. I'm going to grab this adjustment layer and I'm simply going to drag and drop it below the actual leaf layer. I'm going to click on the leaf layer again and go to layer group with previous, and you'll now see that the layer mask on this adjustment layer affects and targets this particular leaf layer, so we can adjust the mask around the leaf on this layer mask if needed. So I'll let you work through and get that far, and then we'll come back, we'll have a closer look at the layer mask, we'll tidy the leaf up and do a few more things at the same time.